It gives me great pleasure now to introduce to you His Excellency the Honourable Minister Paul Gabuswe, the Minister for Mines and Mineral Development, Republic of Zambia. And just a little bit about His Excellency. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Politics and International Business and was voted in the 2021 general elections as Member of Parliament for the Chile-Lombambwe constituency in Chile-Lombambwe district of the Copper Belt in Zambia. He was appointed as Cabinet Minister following the ushering of the UPND party into government by the President of the Republic of Zambia. He has been at the helm of the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development since September 2021 and has superintended over the ongoing policy and legal review of the mining sector in Zambia. Having grown up and lived in one of the mining towns of Zambia, Chile-Lombambwe, is that right? I've got the name right, thank you. It's a difficult one to pronounce. He's passionate about unlocking of the mining sector in Zambia to contribute to socio-economic development. Please join me in welcoming His Excellency Gabuswe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's Chile-Lombambwe. Actually, it means a croaking frog. First and foremost, greetings to everybody seated here. It's an honor for us to be here. Zambia is a very noisemaker in terms of mining globally, but in the recent past, I think the country stagnated and stopped growing in terms of productivity for copper and other minerals. We set ourselves as a new government in 2021 on a vision to grow our copper productivity to 3 million tons per year in the next 10 years. Now, one might say that's a huge vision because we are basically stagnated at around 820,000 to 850,000 metric tons per year. But we have set ourselves on a big vision because we believe that if you don't have a big vision, you won't have enough push of yourself to reach that target. So we have set ourselves on a path of an seemingly impossible target, but I think that we are going to meet it. At one point, actually, Zambia was at par with Chile in terms of productivity for copper. But you realize Chile is in millions of tons. We are still stuck below 1 million. And this 820 to 850 has stayed with us for quite a long time. It means that there is something that we are not doing, which we must begin doing now for us to reach that target, because we believe that reaching that target entails that there will be quite a bit of activity in Zambia for us, which will translate into job creation, economic activity, participation of the local people, etc., etc. Now, Zambia, I want our potential partners and investors to know that Zambia so far has changed about 6 presidents peacefully. Very rare feat in Africa, meaning we are boasting of stability and we are boasting of peace and peaceful transition and changing of governments, relatively very peaceful. I think that is where one would want to put their money, in an environment that is predictable, in an environment that is stable in terms of politics. So that is your number one ingredient as an investor, is to look at where your money will be safe. And Zambia is boasting of such. We've changed 6 presidents. That's not an easy feat, and peacefully so. As a new government, we set ourselves as well on a path to try and create an environment that is stable, because if you have so much mineral, then you are stagnated. You need to understand, why are we at this point and not moving forward? One of the reasons we realized was that there was an unstable policy environment. So meaning that we needed to align ourselves to international practice and also to be predictable in our economic policies. We took over a regime, actually, which had changed tax policies. I think in 10 years, they changed them 15 times. Now, that is not an environment where one would want to invest, because we do understand that mining is a long-term investment. And it requires that your plan fits into a system that is predictable, a system that is stable. So that as you are planning, you know that in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years, the policies won't shift, won't change. That may disturb actually your cash flow or your planning in terms of how you would want, to raise your productivity. So that is what we set ourselves on, a path. Now, Africa is said to be a very mineral-rich continent, but very impoverished. Why is it poor? Because there are certain things that we are not doing right. A lot of wealth and a lot of poverty. It doesn't match. So ourselves as a government, we wanted now to look at one of the biggest issues is around the licensing vis-a-vis the behavior of the investors that have come into our country. So what did we do? We shut down the cadastre system to clean the licensing, to remove corruption, to also increase the confidence levels, because mining starts at licensing. So at that point we said, can we shut this down, clean it up, including the way licenses are given, the behavior of officers in that department, so that we can reignite the confidence. We had very strange findings where an investor has come into the country, creates streams, but when you look at beneficial ownership, is the owner and owns 50 licenses alone, which they are not even using, but speculating with. Now, does that ring a bell why you are wealthy in terms of endowment, yet your population is poor? So we tried to clean that up by shutting that system, recreate a new one so that there is more confidence, and also send a message to ourselves and to the investors that there has to be integrity, there has to be a lack of corruption, there has to be openness and transparency in the way that the mineral resources are going to be exploited. Zambia is endowed with quite a number, if not all, mineral resources that you can talk about. We have, in terms of base metals, there is copper, we have cobalt, we have tin, we have nickel, we have zinc, we have manganese, we have iron. Industrial minerals, you'll find limestone, phosphates, rare earth elements, graphite, gypsum. We have gemstones. Believe it or not, Zambia runs now one of the biggest gem fields, mines, which is called Kagem. Very huge. But yet our country sometimes is being classified in the column of the poor. We want to raise that bar. We are determined to raise that bar, to work together with you, the investors, and ourselves. The scenario and the situation must be win-win. We must sit around the table and talk. One of the very strange factors that we found when we inherited our mining sector was we found a mining sector that was in court. We were basically mining in court. All the big brownfield mines were in court. There's a mine called Mopani in court. The mine called Konkola Copper Mines in court. Those are big mines. Yet they were confused in court. They were just, exchanges of this court battle, that legal battle. And we said, if we stay in court, there is no copper that is going to come or gold that is going to come out in court. So we said, can we sit down? Get out of court. Let's sit around the table. Where there are impediments or challenges, let's talk about it. Maybe it's management issues. Maybe it's governance issues. Maybe it's social issues. And we are to get ourselves out of court. And now we have begun to talk so that we can untangle and unlock the sector so that it begins to benefit both the investors and the people around it. So these are some of the issues that we've done. Now, to reach the target that we want to reach, apart from the brownfield mines, we also decided to look at how do we formalize the artisanals and small-scale miners. Because to us, we believe that 20,000 tons from there, 50,000 tons from there, 200,000 tons from the big brownfield mines, and also the greenfield mines. An aggregate of that will give us the 3 million tons that we want to achieve. So meaning the artisanals and small scale are critical. So now how do we make all these things that I'm talking about get us to where we want to go? Is drafting a new mining policy, which we have done within 1 year. I think we are almost finalizing the new mining policy. After that is done, we are also drafting a new regime in terms of the Mines and Minerals Act, because we are using one of 2015, so that it answers to some of the policies that are contained in the mining policy document, because I'm sure that certain things that we are doing will require that we legislate to achieve what we want to achieve there. So we have set ourselves on drafting a new policy, which we are almost done, and also reviewing the Mines and Minerals Act, and then we are good to go as an economy. So the issues of the artisanals and small-scale miners, I'm glad a question was asked relating to that. Apparently, Zambia has an outbreak of gold. And therein lies a challenge, because Zambia hasn't had gold, let me say mining, hasn't been mining gold. It hasn't been known for mining gold, but it is known for mining a lot of copper and cobalt. Now, because of that, there is a proliferation of a lot of illegal miners. So what we have set ourselves on a path to formalize the artisanals and small-scale miners. One of the things that we have seen is giving rise to this is our people feeling that they are being hard done by in terms of benefiting from this resource. And this issue actually cuts across all the minerals apart from gold and emeralds. So a lot of illegal miners are dotted all around, and communities are actually realizing that these minerals, these mines are sitting within our communities, and yet we remain so impoverished. So there is an agitation to want sometimes to even invade mines. So as a government, our answer to that is to formalize them, is to sit with them, group them, formalize them into mining, proper mining companies through cooperatives, so that they begin to participate as themselves in the sector. To us, this will help even in aggregating the productivity figures that we are looking at. So Zambia realizes that the mines or the minerals it is endowed with belongs to the Zambian people and belongs to the investor as well. So as we come to invest in our country, our focus and our plea and our statement is that the investor be here, you win. The people of Zambia be here, they win, and the treasury wins. Meaning, proper taxes must be paid. And those taxes that should not choke you, the investor, because as you are investing so that you make a profit. So we want to make sure that there is win-win for you. And then also the participation of the local people in the sector is also critical, meaning suppliers, contractors. We want to move away from just hearing about big figures being invested, and I want to appreciate First Quantum who are here because of what I said in terms of sitting around the table to discuss. We sat with them and unlocked a $1.3 billion investment in the country because we had to sit around the table and discuss. Even them, actually, they were in court, like I said, with us through our company called ZCCMIH. We had to sit around the table and talk and discuss so that we unlock that investment, which is about $1.3 billion, which they have done. It's because we sat around the table and discussed, and there the investment came out. So, if you are looking for investment in the copper sector, in the gold sector, in the emerald sector, Zambia is your destination. Because Zambia is peaceful. Zambia now is predictable. Zambia now is back in the Champions League of mining. So come and invest in Zambia. Come and sit with us. You are going to recoup your money because Zambia is also predictable and very peaceful. I think that is why we are seated here. And I also want to say this, moderator. This is an Africa Down Under conference. Can the organizers think of taking it to Africa at some point? Because you are discussing my mango tree away from my yard, yet my yard, the mango tree is in my yard. I told the people at the Cobalt conference in Switzerland, can we also have a Cobalt conference in Africa? They have actually written to us that they want a conference in Africa. So come to where the copper is. Come to where the cobalt is. Come to where, because right now, I can tell you, as Africa, we have begun to collaborate. Zambia is talking with DRC. We have signed an MOU because we are alive to the fact that the world is going EV. And Zambia, combined with DRC, we are going to control 70% of the resource. So whatever EV you are doing, 70% of the resource is in Zambia and DRC. So why not have conferences and all these discussions so that you talk to us nicely, since we'll be in control? So come to us, and this time around, our discussions, I want to emphasize that they are going to be win-win. I do not accept the poverty in Africa in relation to the rich endowment of resources in the African continent. It's unacceptable. It's a misnomer. So we need to move together with with the African continent, particularly Zambia. Please come and invest in a peaceful environment. Come and talk to us. The one that was talking about the way they've done to the gold, I think they've left the podium. please come to Zambia. Zambia now has a lot of gold. And I just came back from, I visited our friends in Ghana and Tanzania to look at how they have structured themselves in terms of endowment and how they have done their resource. So Zambia now is the destination for your investment. Actually today, this morning, the IMF showed a lot of confidence by announcing that they have given us a bailout plan of $1.5 billion. So that is the confidence that is in the Zambian economy. You can look at how our even currency is stabilizing. It shows the confidence in the economy. So come to Zambia and invest, and your money will be secure. Thank you very much.